the very first sale of a Steve and Kyle podcast related mini skirt.
Which one was it?
It was Stevie Tortellini because, as Lynn puts it, she bought it because on the butt it said hot, fresh, strange.
Hey, Steve, it's Dad. I just wanted to let you know, the woman that cuts Judy's hair and my hair predicted that you guys are going to have a boy. And she said she's never been wrong. She said that you're going to have a boy.
Jeep's still sitting in the garage, too.
Do you need to call Car Kyle?
Car Kyle, huh?
Well, I don't want to call myself pro, but
Kyle. You don't want to call yourself that.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go on a limb and call myself Car Kyle or anything stupid. But yeah, I got some expertise now.
It's been a while since Car Kyle has checked in.
That's, I saw that on the list, and it happened to fill a time I needed, so I thought, boy, this is going to work perfect because we are approaching month number 9, Steve, of Jeep 2.0 being for sale.
That's right.
Being currently parked in our mutual friend Chris's, Cy Nolan Ryan Young's, formerly Cy Nolan Ryan Young, grandmother's garage.
Oh no, it is out of hibernation.
Oh my goodness,
Picked it up.
This is news.
Yeah, we picked it up about a week and a half ago and brought it back to the local area. So that way, when all of the people contact us that want to buy it, it won't be so inconvenient. All the people.
So it's still...
Boy, we're just jumping right into this, aren't we?
It's not at roadside then, correct?
Not currently, no. It
Okay.
has to be, needs a fresh detail.
Because I had a few things on the top of my head that it's this time of year that I wanted to get caught up on. It's been a little while, so I figured I would ask you about the Jeep as, again, we enter month 9 of you trying to pawn off a triple murder plus a dog death Jeep.
September, October, November, December.
I guess I'm counting August.
February, March, April.
And May will be...
We're just short of entering... Hey, come on now.
Sorry.
We're in month 8.
I apologize.
I mean,
this
what do
car
you think this is? Like a complete failure? No.
This car, you almost have to buy new registration tabs for it.
I'm trying to think of when it was actually registered. I don't...
It may be. You may already have to have.
Oh,
it
boy.
may already be
It might have been
expired.
registered. It might have been registered in... Because we bought it in, I think, June. It might have been registered,
Which...
pretty quick. No, I don't think we registered it until it was fully repaired.
Okay, so about August.
Yeah, so
So
we got plenty of time left on the old registration. Come on now.
And
by the way, it's Monday, April 22nd, 2019, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast, but we digress.
Yeah, so it's almost month 9. Your very first carryover cost will arrive. Let's call it August.
Yeah, we'll say July just to kind of split the difference.
So you guys already have a lot of money each into it.
Thousands and thousands.
Is this $150 registration fee at the 1 year mark of the saddest anniversary of all time going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of this Jeep sale?
It is expensive to register a vehicle.
It's stupid. This state is stupid, and good news for you. This year, they went up 30%.
Nice.
So
okay.
I think what I'm trying to say to you is you're welcome. Thank you for fixing the roads.
Yeah, I mean that's the good thing is that we drive on the nicest roads in this sweet nation. Everything is great.
Have you discussed putting it, roadside anywhere?
Oh yeah,
in a high viewing area, maybe paying a few dollars.
I think that the issue with that to this point has been we haven't had insurance on it.
Sure.
So the amount that it is out on the road severely limited to,
Sure.
well, nothing. But I think what we're going to do is just put insurance on it for a month. So it'll be probably $60-$70.
Oh my God!
Another line on the old spreadsheet.
This is quickly turning into an endeavor very eerily similar to this podcast, which has never once sniffed the black, only the red. From day one all the way up until week 140 whatever.
Well, I think now that all depends if you're going month by month or are we looking at it as a whole?
As a whole. As a whole, Steve, is the Jeep that you are currently trying to sell in the red or in the black?
Oh, it's currently in the red because we have not sold it.
Which is why I give it the comparison
No, but
this podcast.
Because I was going to make the argument for this podcast. There have been months where... There have been months where, I think the fees that we pay are $20 a month.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that in the month of March, we made $22 on merch.
Hey, how about that, everybody? Well, that's about to take a real hit after recent developments as well. But to wrap up the auto sale.
Yeah, that was a... Yeah.
Again, if you're looking for a Jeep, this one, it's fresh on the market for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you run it through the wash, maybe?
Low mileage for the year, seeing as how it hasn't... Basically, because that vehicle, when we bought it last June or July, it had sat for a year. It had been in an accident in the summer of 2017.
Yeah, the murder.
So in the last nearly 2 years, it's had about 100 miles put on it.
You're like one of those senior citizens who buys a old Camaro or Corvette or whatever, gussies everything up on it, and then you take it out for like 8 miles a season.
Yeah.
You take it to the ice cream shop once.
Maybe
too many people look at it, so you get nervous, and you put it back in storage.
You park it so far away from the ice cream shop.
Sure. So you're pretty much parked in, the mall.
Yeah.
In a back lot, and you're walking there. Yeah, boy. I mean, this thing's mint then.
I mean, it's in great shape. Couple more years, we'll be able to put those historic license plates on it because of the low mileage and how old it is.
No, I think I brought this up last winter, and I'm curious because it's that time. It's literally a new year. And, the car models change, and this thing's a year older now.
Yeah.
Have you looked at it in, Kelly Blue Book? Because I don't know what this thing is for sale.
It hasn't dropped.
It has not.
Yeah,
it
it's the same.
Now, that is what Jeeps are known for as well.
Yeah, holding their value.
Yeah, okay.
So that gives me a bit of hope. Just the slightest bit of hope. Very tiny, tiny bit of hope.
Yeah. I have seen... pictures. I think you only post them on Instagram, and I don't like to post the direct snark on Instagram on your personal account because
Oh, don't you?
It won't get the attention that it does on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll wait for you to post them there. I see you've been, still adding things here and there. Was it a month ago you added the halos to your Jeep?
Uh-huh.
This week you added a wall for whatever reason in the front of the grill. It just looks like a big old
it's a bumper.
Big old block.
I mean, it's a bumper. Most vehicles have them.
So is this just you're itching? You're itching to do a little work on it.
You know that I'm always tinkering with something. Always.
Man.
Whether I have that other Jeep or not, I'm always tinkering with something.
I just feel
that's why I want the big building out in the backyard so I can have my spot to wrench on something.
I just feel like that as miserable a failure as this has been.
Good to know you're being fair.
You're going to jump head first into this empty pool again and smack your head.
Look.
Because you can't help yourself,
first of all, don't bring up pools. Still a sensitive topic for Pool Steve.
I mean, you tinkering with your own, which again, granted, is different. It is your own. You're driving it.
No intentions of getting rid of it, although we all know that I will.
It just makes me think that the second this one is out of your possession, even after, if you sold it tomorrow, an 8-month, 3.5 week, sale, that you would already have another one in the driveway. Listen, you jumped into this so excited a year ago. You were thinking about taking a whirlwind trip to not St. Louis, but there was it may have been St. Louis,
yeah,
to buy one and bring it back.
I had to buy parts. Almost bought parts from a man in St. Louis. And I will never say that I'm not going to do this again, because I know that I will. I like to think I've learned a lot from this one. First one was definitely paid too much for it, and there's a thin margin where you can make profit.
Right.
And if we had paid probably $3,000 less for it than what we did pay, then we would have easily been able to sell it. It would have been
gone right now.
Yeah, because we would have been perfectly fine taking less for it.
Okay.
We bought it for too much. We initially had it posted for way too much.
But you've come down. You've kind of met there.
I think our price is okay. I think a day like today, where it's 77 degrees and sunny, it's probably going to help us a little bit. It's
4:15 on a Monday.
No, not yet.
It's been sunny and 70 all day.
Right.
So has it yet? Have you received messages
yet? It's
yet?
a bit literal. I mean, days like today. Right. So
you need,
now that the weather is changing.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think it's a week straight of good weather for you to get a bite?
I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that it's springtime, and Jeeps sell in the spring and the summer, and convertibles sell in the spring and the summer.
So we've had weather.
I know someone who just bought a convertible simply because it was a nice day.
Well, that is just a horrible financial decision.
It's not the smartest thing.
Steve, normally I wouldn't have to. Was it you?
No.
Do I have to walk into the garage and see the shell of what used to be something nice? Yeah, all I gotta do is get a motor, a body, a window, and
transmission or two.
Yeah, and it's a stick shift, so only I can drive it.
But it's a reverse stick shift. You shift the gears backwards.
So today, like you said, it's about 78 degrees here, West Michigan.
I know, it's beautiful.
So this string of good weather is going to help you, like the 56 degrees, low of 35, rain tomorrow.
Well, I said a string of good weather.
54 degrees on Saturday, the 56 degrees on Sunday.
I don't look at the calendar and say, it's a nice day, I'll sell a Jeep because the weather's nice.
Just saying.
Oh, by the way, I just realized that there's something... That thing leaning up against the wall, you have to open that at some point.
Oh, okay. Put it on the list.
Yeah,
we'll get to everything today.
Yeah, definitely. I just happened to see it. Didn't want you to forget it, or didn't want to forget about that.
But okay,
I'm hoping that as soon as because look, we're in that weird stretch where we had snow on the ground. 8 days ago?
Oh,
it was like last Sunday we had snow on the ground, and today it was 77. But tomorrow it's going to be like 50. Eventually, we're going to get the nice weather known as spring or summer.
Sure.
Well, although, you know what they say, in Michigan, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes, right?
You know what they say in Michigan, there's 2 seasons. It's winter and construction season.
You know what they say, in Michigan, there's smooth roads, and then there's the bumpy roads, but there aren't smooth roads because it's Michigan.
You know what they
that one's
say?
A little wordy. I think that one has to be worked out a bit.
You know what they say, right? Michigan with all the lakes.
You know what they say about those people from insert neighboring state here? They're the worst drivers.
You know what they say? Cartoon character pee on your state.
You know, You know what they say about those politicians in insert state capital here? Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah.
Your state is not the only one that has weather that sometimes is a bit erratic. So stop posting it.
Do you know what the most offensive one is for me? And if you've done this, and we're friends with you on social media, one, we need your honesty because you need to be shamed from this. If you now or have ever posted anything along the lines of what happens in blank stays in blank,
Yeah.
you need to go.
Okay, all right. I can add to this because I hate that one.
That's dumb. It started as a Las Vegas marketing ad, Steve,
Yeah.
and it worked fine for there because there's hookers. But when you have a bumper sticker that says what happens on the fishing boat stays on the fishing boat, it doesn't make any sense because it's a little boat on a tiny lake. What are you hiding on the boat?
Yeah, it doesn't really have the same pop.
It's dumb.
Yeah. I also really dislike if we're just going social media in general.
Yeah.
I hate I'm just going to leave this right here. And then it's a picture of something or a screenshot of a post or a link to an article that backs your opinion and not the other opinion. I'm just going to leave this right here.
That's happened. I saw comments on a local news story about the measles outbreak, which is happening in Michigan. There's a lot of
idiots
measles cases, and I made the horrific mistake of clicking on the comments and exactly those words. I'm just gonna leave this here, and as a screenshot of a meme about how deaths went on the rise after vaccine. Whatever. I'm not here to argue that. You're dumb.
I am. You're stupid if you think that that measles causes autism. You're dumb. You're a stupid person. If you're an anti-vaxxer, you're stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Trust me, we don't have enough listeners to lose any. So I know for damn sure.
Well, if we see a downtick of 1 or 2 this week,
we know.
I'll take that responsibility. I'll shoulder that burden.
Yeah, you'll have to reinvigorate the listening base.
Boy, we're fired up today.
Oh yeah, I've got takes.
This is not going to be a long episode. I feel like I'm a dog and I'm orbiting right now.
No question.
I'm just running around the dining room table. Running.
You know, I told you I've been using my Twitter for the last few months as an outlet.
Hot takes. I've seen some of your hot takes.
I've been trying to leave. And this weekend I had about 5 of them, but I don't want to overburden the Twitter, so I'm trying to. But you're right. I'm like, it's like a dog with a bone, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to roar now.
I like your approach to your hot takes on Twitter, but at KPFF35.
KPAFF3587. Yeah.
I like how you'll typically announce about an hour in advance. Hey everyone, hot take coming.
Yeah.
Stand by.
I like to say, going to drop a hot take shortly. Yeah. And that gives me time to build the groundswell.
Sure. I mean, you don't want to just show up and announce that you're running for president.
Sure.
You want to dance around it a bit for a little while.
And then
you want to tell people, hey, come on back here tomorrow. Might have a big announcement. So that way all the media is like, oh, is he going to run for president? Is Kyle's doing it? He's running for president?
This weekend, the one I unleashed was one I couldn't even wait that long. I waited like 6 minutes. Like it's burning.
Wow.
It's burning a hole in my pocket.
You broke your own rule.
I still announced.
Okay.
I still announced, absolutely.
Sure.
But
did you at least say sorry for the short notice?
No, listen, it's randomness.
Think of the people. Think of your followers.
It's the randomness, and I'm keeping the internet on its toes, and my only problem with this one is I dropped the hot take in between arguing with Columbine people who were claiming that the 2 killers of Columbine were victims of Columbine. So the hot take kind of got lost in another Twitter feud of mine.
Bit, yeah.
But so I don't regret anything.
Along, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of got lost. But you know what? It's about the randomness, Steve, and you're right. I'm the same way. Maybe it's the weather, but I got all these. I got sports takes.
It's definitely the weather because things are blossoming, things are blooming. Parts of your brain are being reactivated after they've been in hibernation for the last 5 months because of the terribly cold weather. That seasonal affective disorder kicks in and shuts down areas of the brain. Don't think that's true.
Can't be.
But hey,
we're not bears.
Something's going on. Something's going on in that head. By the way, pretty sure I saw a dead horse yesterday.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you. It's a big time in the horse cycle.
Is it?
We got the Kentucky Derby is less than 2 weeks away. Floppy hats, overpriced mint juleps, prize horses, and one guy watching on TV hoping for an accident.
Yeah, we were driving to Annette's parents yesterday, and they live kind of like you drive down this one road where there's a farm on the one side, and we drove past, and it was a beautiful day. There were 3 or 4 horses out in this little pasture, and one of them was just laying down, all 4 legs straight out, and I thought, that horse looks like it just tipped over and died. And I said to Annette, don't horses, like, they sleep standing up, don't they? She's like, yeah, I thought so. Well, that horse is laying on the ground. And she's like, no, he's just resting, maybe?
Yeah. It's like when the same way fishes rest. Fish.
Fish
rest. Fish eye.
So we were at her parents' house for 4 hours, 5 hours. And then we left, and I jokingly said, imagine if that horse is still laying on the ground. And I'll be damned, we drove back, and that thing was still laying in the exact same spot, and 3 other horses were just standing there staring at it.
Oh, man, it outlived its usefulness by 150 years. Good for it.
So I looked it up. Why do horses lay down? And they said that the only time horses lay down is when they need REM sleep, which is like the deep
sleep. Okay.
cycle. So I thought, oh, okay, it's probably just in REM sleep. But then it also said that typically horses only need REM sleep for like a matter of minutes every day. And this thing had been laying there. Yeah, horses only sleep like from anywhere from several minutes to 2 hours a day. Now, a lot of the time they'll be, I forget what they called it, like they're standing up, but they're basically resting, so they're like, I don't know what we could compare it to, like a light nap maybe.
Okay.
But that horse was dead, right?
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. And like I said, outlived its usefulness by 150. Those have horses have not been necessary, Steve, in at least 1 century.
Disagree. I bought glue last week.
It's hard to argue. I mean,
they were horses historically have had 2 uses.
Yeah.
Form of transportation.
Yep.
And glue. Gluing things together. That's my hot horse take.
You need what's it kind of like you need glue for 2019? A 37, nearly 38-year-old man.
Well, it was wood glue.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's made from horses.
Wood horse.
Wood horse. Yep. Yeah, I needed some wood glue to glue a couple boards together.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of the wood horse farm.
Yep.
A couple of them got put down last week.
If I had just waited a couple.
That's the crank. The wood horse grinder.
Oh, they put them through a grinder.
Yeah, piece by piece. Yeah, legs first because those are the weakest.
Why wouldn't they just build a bigger grinder so they could do it all at once?
Oh, Steve, they're not unlimited money here. They're raising wood horses. For God's sake, you think they have unlimited cash flow?
Yeah, silly me.
Ah, boy. Speaking of putting things through the horse grinder, Steve.
Let me add some hot horse takes to the rundown.
Hey, I'm glad you're on board. I'm glad you're coming around. I think it's a matter of time. I think my takes, once they fester for a while, I think people start to come around and see the light a little bit.
Do you think that you're just a man before your time?
Yeah, but not like, oh man, if he was born 50 years. No, it's like if he had released that take a year later, it would be okay.
So you're just off by a year.
Yeah, it'd be like if I could teleport or travel through time like 4 minutes. It doesn't do anybody any good.
Right.
I mean, what can I do? I can transport to the end of a sporting event and come back and gamble on it. That's really the only usefulness I can see about it.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a good skill. It's more of a burden than anything.
Yeah. So, but I think my takes, I think once they seep in, they get into the bloodstream, take a little bit to adapt. When you get a kidney, Steve, or an organ.
Oh, we're going to compare this to. This is how important your takes are, huh? Okay. No, please.
Sometimes.
Yeah, please, just keep going with this.
Sometimes the body will reject a new organ, whether it be a kidney, a liver, or in my case, a heart. But
That's
after
That's
time,
the truest thing you've said all day.
but after time, it starts to be accepted, I think.
Okay.
I feel like it doesn't.
By the way, what were we talking about before I blurted out? I saw a dead horse yesterday.
Oh, God. That's a good question. I know where I was going.
We were talking about other hot takes, right?
Yeah, how I'd been unleashing some hot takes on Twitter.
Sure.
But speaking of, throwing the wood horses in the meat grinders, we have a rest in peace announcement of our own to make, Steve.
Oh, no.
We got an email today that some would call our only good piece of merch
It was one of our highest selling.
has been put out to pasture to keep up with the horse analogies.
Yeah. Now, this email came through overnight, so I woke up to it this morning and I was devastated.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I never got to buy one either.
Apparently, this may sound shocking, but our one design was said to have been copyright infringement.
Now, I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm coming around to Donald Trump's side. If Alec Baldwin can portray our president in the unflattering light and get away with calling it parody, why shouldn't he be stopped when all I wanted was a simple homage to my favorite comic book of all time, Calvin and Hobbes, Steve?
Oh, man. I don't have the answer to that. I don't. But
So what I'm announcing here today is that we are suing the publisher.
we're going to sue them for us
It's parody.
blatantly ripping off their content.
But we didn't really rip off the content, right? What
we ripped off
is
the
an image from a comic
intellectual
strip.
property.
It's literally just a pose. Now, I think if we sent that back to Philip and had him remove the tiger from you, and if it's literally just you and I doing a pose like that, I don't think that's infringement at all. I believe that's direct parody, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that. I wasn't surprised that I saw that email. Then I let you know about it, and you said, what do we do? Do we fight it? And I said, I don't think we can fight it because it's 100% true.
Well, there's a way that we can simply request it to be looked at again. And I think you're right in saying that this direct image, and now what we're talking about, if it isn't clear, is the Stephen Kyle Calvin and Hobbes caricature shirt that was on Redbubble and was very well received, that I personally requested from Philip to draw up a few months ago, and did a beautiful job. A lot of that merch is out in the streets. A lot of that exact
I would
design.
say that at the side gigs shows, that is the one I see the most.
That
Calvin
and
Hobbes
Stevie
one I saw.
Tortellini.
Nikki had one on this weekend and on a purple shirt. Oh man, did that logo
beautiful.
pop?
Right? It's beautiful.
No, it looked great.
So the publisher of the Calvin and Hobbes comics filed a complaint with the host of our shop.
Yeah.
And so that has been put to bed. So
I'm going to go ahead and assume that the Calvin and Hobbes Corporation probably has a couple bucks to spend on lawyers. I feel as though they probably did their due diligence, looked into it, and are pretty confident in their case.
now again, I do stand by it. I think if we change our image in terms of remove the tiger look, change
Turn
whatever.
the tiger into a zebra.
Yeah,
Just
right? Hey,
make
now
those,
what?
Make those
Huh?
orange stripes white.
Now it's Telvin and Zobs. Huh? Can't sue us for that, you big jerks.
That'll show them.
So what I'm saying is, if you have one of those, you have one of a very limited number. And I need to figure out a way to get one, because here's what's funny, Steve.
Oh, that's no problem.
Here's what's funny. I told you on episode 120 or whatever that for 100 consecutive episodes, I had been wearing that same design in 4 different variations.
Yeah.
That exact same design. They had one with 2 horror characters. They had one with 2 Spider-Man characters. The original one with just the faces with Calvin and Hobbes, which was directly Calvin and Hobbes. And I forget what the last one was. And I wore those for 100 straight weeks. I bought every single one of those shirts from there.
Oh, from that site.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
So I must have bought all of them before they got shut down.
well, either that or the poses or the likeness was not as dead on.
Man, I'll have to look. And again, I can't believe I just asleep at the wheel too long. I never got one of my own.
That's simple, though. We just have Philip upload it to his... I'm sure if he uploads it to his page, makes it private, you could go on, order one, and then he could take it down.
Yeah, it'd have to be taken down. Because we were threatened if we just simply re-upload it, they delete the entire account.
Most likely, that's why we.
That's
have
what
Philip.
they said.
That's why we have Philip do it.
Yeah.
Is that what it said? I didn't
Yes.
read far enough.
Yeah.
In the email.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So I'm gonna let that lie.
So we need to get back on the merch train. As now our hottest piece of merch is off the market.
All right, we need
and
to come
and a rarity now, a legit
see.
rarity.
We need to come up with a new one now. Like
Well,
what?
We've got a lot of good ones that have been in the hopper. We still need the mortar logo from our newest sidecast about more murder.
More murder.
I do have
which
to
we
upload.
just shortened to mortar.
We need someone to make up. We need a nice history of the mystery design. I do have to upload one that Philip sent over, and I apologize, Philip. It totally
Oh, is that the one?
slipped between the fell beneath the cracks between the cracks here. But the designs he made, I'm telling you, I think you're going to love these.
Which was that for your? What was your position?
The conflict
the
manager.
conflict manager, and then it says, "I'm just here for the pizza."
I'm just here I joined for the free pizza, so I'll be uploading those. I need to figure out a way that you can only buy it in hot yellow. So we're really limiting.
So you're talking like Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania.
We're really limiting the scope. But that one is bound to get you some questions. So we have that. I do have to upload the one, part of the image he drew for our billboard. I have to upload that as a design as well. Mm-hmm. And there's still others that I feel like he is working on, or maybe, and we can get those uploaded to the shop. So, but it's a sad day in our merch history.
Tough blow that we took here.
Man, it was surprising. It was, well, it shouldn't be. Like, is Lucky Billy uploaded? Because that's obviously a direct theft from the Snickers font and logo.
Lucky Billy, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was uploaded. That was probably one of the originals.
So if you have one of those, again, you are in possession of a Steve and Kyle rarity.
Yeah. So if you want to send them to us, we'll autograph them for a very nominal fee.
Nominal fee to be decided later.
Yeah, well, we have to wait until we get the shirt, see what condition it's in.
Yep. We'll grade it.
Determine how many Sharpies we have to buy. I said Sparkies. And then, we'll send it back to you once you pay us lots of
money. But that is steveandkyle.com/merch if you want to check any of that out. And the last thing I had to ask you, Steve, now this is literally just me from the top of the show now, trying to get caught up with you on questions I had. The last question I had.
Burning questions.
This is another ongoing theme throughout last year. You've been in your house since November of 2017? October 2017?
It was like September, I think.
Okay.
Mid to late September.
That makes sense. You were married in November. You weren't moving when you were married.
No.
So one of the things we talked about quite at length last year was your lawn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we talked about nearly May.
Yes.
I need to know what's the plan
status.
in place. No, well, I know the status, and I don't think anybody here will be surprised by the status update I have.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten better over the winter. I know. I know.
I wasn't saying anything about it. I want to know.
Shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are. I thought that once all that snow melted, there was going to be long, luscious locks of grass everywhere.
But we are at a time now where it's rained, and after the snow melted, there's been some sunshine. Most lawns have started kind of migrating from the brown to the green.
I can't even tell you. There's one yard when you like first pull into our neighborhood. And this guy spends a ton of time out on like grooming his beautiful yard. Every time I drive by over the summer, he's out there doing something, whether it's cutting grass, weed whacking, raking stuff up. Like, I mean, I would say his lawn is a 10 out of 10 all the time. But now, like you said, we're at the time of year where it's kind of 50-50. Half the lawns still kind of look like garbage.
Yeah.
They still have leaves all over them and like broken sticks and everything.
Yeah, leaves, some weeds, some patches that are overgrown.
This guy's yard is in like mid-season form. I mean, it looks like July. His yard, there's not a blade of yellow grass anywhere. It's all like the greenest green I've ever seen. I drive by and I think to myself, how did he do that? Now, I know that he probably put down the stuff in the fall, and then I'm sure he aerated at some point.
Oh, he probably
like dethatched or whatever they call it.
Probably like flamed through the snow off the lawn in the winter so he could
re-fertilize. Maybe he's got that like radiant heating under his grass.
So it's constantly grass. Now but hey man, you're Johnny Neighbor now.
Yes.
Why don't you go on and get over there? Yeah. Say, hey, I drive by this thing every day.
Yeah.
And I need to ask you, what's the key to this masterpiece?
No, that wouldn't be what I'd ask him. I'd say, I have to ask you, when are you going to come and do mine?
Okay, yeah. You can offer him,
I'll pay you. I mean, he's close enough where he could ride his riding lawnmower to my house. And it would take
down
like
the road.
3 minutes.
But I don't think the mowing's the problem, right? Now, granted, this guy.
No, the mowing's not. It's just it's the watering, it's the seeding, it's the schedule, all of that.
For this guy, and I get it, it's a hobby. There's people out there like that. Yeah. It's that generation. Though,
he looks like he's probably of retirement age too.
Yeah.
So I would assume that he's not working anymore. So that's it. His house is his kingdom. Wants it to look great.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm just not willing to put in the
work.
It's a
lot of time. I mean, it's just taking into edging, weed whacking, and all of the fertilizing and the weed pick. It's a lot of work. It's the worst. It's the worst, and it's this year. It's really your last bastion of hope, seeing as next year you'll have a 5-month-old newborn.
Yeah.
So I ask you, we stand here on the precipice of May, and pretty consistent, good weather. Mm-hmm. What plan do you, Steve, have in place today to get the lawn back to where it was when you bought it in September of 2017, and then neglected it for about 18 months?
Yeah. Well, I actually do have a plan. Surprisingly,
nice.
We have the sprinkler guy is coming this week.
Gonna get the hooked back up?
Yeah, I'm sure that I said to him, he's like, I could just talk you through it. And I was like, something, if you could come out here, I'll pay you whatever. I think it's like $40 or $50 for him to come out. And I just want him, because he's like, it's kind of a waste for me to come out there. Like, you can do this. Mm-hmm. He's a nice enough guy where he's like, you don't need me to do this. So he's going to come out, just show me. There's a couple steps, a couple valves that have to be turned on or whatever, like in a certain order, and one valve that has to be closed. But I just don't know where they all are. So he's coming out this week, which means that the sprinklers will be turned back on. We'll set up our spring schedule. He had already set it on the because we have one of the like Wi-Fi sprinkler controllers.
Box, yeah.
It like looks at the weather forecast.
Sure.
And if it sees that there's more than a 30% chance of rain or something, it won't run them because, to conserve water. Mm-hmm. So I thought, cool. So he's going to be out here either, I think, like tomorrow or Wednesday. He said he was going to make it out here. So that, already, we are leaps and bounds ahead
of schedule
of where we were last year. Because last year, I don't think we turned the sprinklers on until June.
Yeah, you had a problem. Some of them were broken. Obviously,
so all of them were broken.
It's on the merch.
It was like we had fountains in the backyard.
Yeah.
They were just spraying water straight up in the air. So the only green grass that I had were it was like a 2-foot diameter circle around each of the sprinkler heads.
It was so inspired that it became a piece of merch
Yeah.
of you standing with
My arms on backwards.
your backwards and your Crocs on and one sad sprinkler
Yep.
just spouting straight upwards in one constant stream.
Yeah, and of course I was wearing my FBI shirt, Federal Boob Inspector, and then my Make Boobs Great Again hat, because that's me.
Because you're the cul-de-sac slob, as we decided.
Yeah.
You're the guy in your sweats hanging up an antenna on a Sunday. You're throwing vinyl fencing into a Buick.
Yeah.
You're leaving cars and Jeeps and old lumber on the side of the house.
All of this is true. And so I got the sprinkler guy coming out. So
Yep.
already, like I said, ahead of pace for next year, or from last year. And we also have the company coming out to do the seeding
Hey,
and the aerating.
so you're going to get the aerating, which digs the holes.
well, they
in the
did
yard.
they did aerating in the fall.
Okay, so that should be all you need.
So I
then.
think that's all they need. They
Yep.
did aerating, and then they came out like 2 or 3 times after I had waved the white flag back in the fall. So they came out and did I think it's like a 6-step process.
Yep.
So I think I got in touch with them early enough where I was still able to get the last 2 steps
Sure.
for the fall. So they're going to come out. They said it should be in the next week. They'll come out and put down the
Spring seed.
early spring application.
So all that leaves is you got to get out there with a rake over the dead portion.
Yeah,
Really reinvigorate the dirt.
which we kind of did. Surprisingly, I know it doesn't look
bad.
like it. We because we had a ton of leaves out front, so we
sure.
raked them all up, thinking that would pull up some of the dead grass, but
Yeah.
it didn't. So probably just have to go out there and hit it again.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'll take a picture on the way
It's
out
gonna-
of here today. And
Oh,
I
no,
will
please,
start
come on. No, don't start
well, no,
yet.
because
Don't
it's going
start
to be
yet.
like
Okay,
the
it'll be-
before and
it'll be the-
after of an infomercial
Then
about
can you at
use
least
this.
can you at least wait until the end of the summer to post the
Oh, it's
before
going
and
to
after?
be weekly. So, it'll be able to be put in a little flip book style. You'll be able to see green grass except for around those weird dead patches.
It's funny though because I looked at the sprinkler controller. It's controlled by an app on my phone. Mm-hmm. And so we have, I think there's 5 zones or something, 6 zones. So front yard, front left, front right, backyard, back right, back left, whatever. And there's a spot where you can put in, you can actually take a picture of the area. So if you're just glancing at the app, it's doing the front yard now or doing the side yard. So I had taken pictures of all of it when it was at its absolute worst.
Oh, good.
In probably September.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I know it doesn't look like it.
There's been progress.
There is progress.
Sure.
Because the big yellow spot that took up 60% of the front yard
yeah.
has shrunken significantly.
So you're working outside in.
Yes. Yeah.
You're just closing that hole. You're closing the circle.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it.
No
I can't wait.
guarantees.
You're on
No
track.
guarantees.
I mean, like you said, last year at this time, you had a sprinkler system that didn't work.
Last year at this time, we probably had a beautiful looking lawn.
Yeah, because it was before it started getting warm, so it was
Yeah.
before it just burned to death. With just
It was
no
great.
regard.
It was. I would say it was in great shape because when we moved in, it was late enough in the year. I think I only had to cut the grass 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have done that much damage. And it wasn't. At that point, it wasn't getting super hot anymore. So the grass just kind of did its thing, its fall thing.
That's when that was a time when your neighbors thought maybe they weren't living next to a garbage person.
I don't know. I was already doing some rednecky stuff then, I'm sure.
And very quickly, before we get to the update, a big update on the Throat Goblin tournament, Steve, I need to know, has your overreaching neighbor rented a dumpster for you yet that was supposed to be in the cards as of a week ago?
No, sir.
Whoa!
Yeah, we had...
Figured you'd have the invoice in your door.
No, I had talked to him about that, and we ended up setting up
Leave him alone.
We ended up setting up an appointment. Somebody came out and gave us an estimate for all the tree work.
Yep.
Well, actually, two people did. So I feel like my bad luck streak with tree people may have been isolated to the old house
Okay.
because
You've had 2 people come out.
2 for 2.
But have you had the trees removed?
The first guy said he could have done it. He would have started the next day.
Yeah.
but his price was
He was
astronomical.
he was also
It
almost
was-
3 times higher than what you got.
I was shocked. So we actually talked about it. We were like, well, this would all be done tomorrow if we pay this man $2,500. And I don't have $2,500 just like sticking out of my pocket
It's
to be like,
sitting in Chris's grandmother's garage
yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
It's in the form of a black Jeep. So we said, why don't we get another estimate?
Yeah.
And so we had a guy come out, and he gave us what we thought was a very fair estimate, a third of the price, and he will take down the one death tree that's going to crush something. Mm-hmm. He's going to get rid of all the other crap. He's going to grind a couple stumps down for us, and he's going to haul it all away. The only thing we're going to be left with is whatever the stump grindings are.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, because that's going to be the area behind the shed where that's where all of my grass clippings, I'm going to spread them back there.
Okay.
Dump them back there like basically a compost pile.
But that is TBD as it stands, right?
No, we're on this schedule.
Okay.
But it's that was a week and a half ago, and he said he's probably 6 weeks out. So
Because I told you when we talked about this the other day that I stand by my idea that I think it's something about you that turns these people away when they either give you a quote or before they can even get here to give you a quote. We talked about this before too, because you've had issues with
I've
different
had a lot
contractors.
Of issues. Tree people especially. I
got 5 quotes within like 4 days.
Well, the quotes usually with the tree companies, the quotes were never. I know that I got a bunch of them at the old house, and then there was one company that I said, "Yeah, let's do it," and they said, "All right, we're going to be out next Tuesday or whatever."
Yeah.
And then they just didn't show up, and they did that 2 or 3 times. I had another company that gave me a quote, didn't show up to do the work. So I finally, the first company that came out and said like, "Yeah, we'll do it like today," I said, "Cut it down. I'll be home in an hour to pay you." And
it worked.
It worked, yeah.
Well, you'll be happy to know that you shamed me out of possibly doing my own DIY, Steve.
Good man.
I was all hell bent 2 weeks ago, I want to say, or maybe it was last week, with renting a chainsaw, a stump grinder, and a wood chipper. You and I had even bandied about the idea of a 3-way wood chipper rental, and we all share the portion of a day.
Yeah, I mean, what are friends for if you can't rent wood chippers
And
with
by
each other?
friends, I mean me and you, and then a neighbor. Wasn't the third person a neighbor?
Although I know my friend Joe,
Oh,
who lives
God.
around the corner, he said he could probably use one too. He had a tree fall like 2 years ago, and they're still cleaning it up.
Got all that info from Joe, huh?
See, we could have saved some serious money,
And
it wouldn't have been inconvenient at all. Hauling a trailer around all day.
Hey, we're going to get to house number 3. The sun's going down.
It's like suddenly I have a job now,
Yeah.
and my job is cutting trees
To
down.
save $40.
I know.
And I called around after you shamed me because I said I was going to do it. And you kind of gave me didn't quite think that was going to be possible idea.
I had also thought that you were talking about a different tree. I thought you were talking about
that monster?
one of the ones on the other side.
No.
But then because I couldn't really remember what that one looked like until I was at your house the morning that we drove to Van Wert, and I realized, that thing's easy. You could take a chainsaw right to the bottom of it and just push it.
We
push it over.
could have done it, but by the time that it would have taken to do it, mixed in with the cost of renting all of that, it would have ended up saving me not nearly enough money than just what I did this morning, which was cut a check for the people to finish the job and grind the stump down, which leaves just one more work of, because they grind the stump, but if it's even a medium-sized tree, as you know, Steve, it leaves the roots. And so the roots everywhere, and if you want to plant something there, sorry, now I have to pull these up, try to saw them down as far as I can to try to conceal them. So the work is phase 2 now just begins.
Right, but the tough part is out of the way.
They came. They did. I have not seen one person.
Isn't that the best?
All I know is my tree is gone. The stump is ground. The money's long gone, but the job is complete.
That's nice. That's a good feeling. I'm glad that I shamed you out of doing it yourself.
I wonder when it's going to work for me, because I've been trying to do that to you with...
This one.
The trees.
Yeah, this one.
Well, you weren't considering doing this on your own, though. Were you? Like, all of that work?
Yeah, I was considering getting a chainsaw so I could cut up the trees. I was going to get a freaking wood chipper and drive it into my backyard.
Yeah, you were.
So I could
That's
just
why
shoot
you put
wood
it in the 8-foot gate. Yeah.
Shoot the wood chips all over the place.
All over the neighbor's yard?
Yeah,
all
hey,
over
who wants wood chips? Joe, you want wood chips? Shane, wood chips?
You'll be very proud of me. I was outside yesterday for about a half hour. We were picking up some sticks and stuff in the front yard. Our neighbors were out to the side of us, and they have 2 children, a 3-month-old and another one. And said, "Hey, how's it going?" That was it. Huh?
Well, you'll be proud of me.
Coming around.
When I was putting the garbage down at the curb last night,
Yeah.
I had a very similar interaction. I was walking down the driveway, and then I looked up, and my other neighbor was walking down the driveway at the same pace as me with his garbage can. What did I say? Mm-hmm. Hey, turn around, right back in the house.
Atta boy.
So we're both at the same mark. We're both at the same point. Yet you're going up, and I'm coming down.
Oh no, I'm peaked.
Are you?
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's it.
You've plateaued.
I mean, there were 2 babies within 2 months of each other, next to each other, and no property lines were crossed to discuss how's he doing, how's he doing,
How's
or she. I don't know.
How's Junior there?
Yeah, how's little? I don't know if it's boy or girl. Couldn't tell you. Don't care. Had the
You know something? I feel like you're breaking down walls though.
Sure. Yeah. Just don't want to be. If they ever go crazy, I don't want to be the first one to get one between the eyes.
All right, so before we get to the Throat Goblin tournament, one more thing to do. You have to open up that box back there. You might need to use something sharp here. Use that screw.
We finally got a letter opener.
Don't flip it over, by the way.
Okay.
Just do it as that. I don't want you
finally got a letter opener then, huh?
Yes, yeah. An old screw that was in the wall.
So is this related to the live show? Is this from the live show at all?
It is. It's a relic of the live show that...
we didn't have a chance to talk about that. Apologies. I'm on a tight schedule here today. We're recording a day late. I do have a lot of questions for you next week about your,
no problem.
Your side gig event that you had at the bingo hall.
Yes, we've had a couple events at the old bingo hall.
You guys had to boot out the old folks.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them bingo's canceled for tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
Go get your soup. Old lady Gert, get out of here.
Gert. So this was hand-delivered to me by one Timmy DeShano. That you will need.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, that's me, guys. That is a personal fathead. He actually used this picture. He took a picture of me in Van Wert, Ohio, Steve, and everybody, and he said, "Well, you want to be on the fathead? What face?" I said, "I don't know," and I made a dumb face,
like your best triple chin too. Like you really squished it in there.
And he sent it into Fathead and got a couple of these made.
Timmy got 2 of them made. I guess normally they're about $20 a piece, but they had some deal going on where it was like 2 for $17.
Oh my gosh!
We need I mean, officially, fathead.com did that. They send it to you. It's got, what's that page? Probably
19 by 24
19 by
is
24.
the whole thing. So my face is probably about, probably 17 by 19,
I was going to say 15 to 17 inches wide or so by about 20 tall. It comes with a little popsicle stick that has double-sided tape on it. And
now the Fathead cuts your ears off a little bit. From the perforation.
Now, Timmy had one of them at the Flint live show for the side gig last week, and nobody has ever been more committed to holding up a Fathead than that man was. He held it he had that thing right next to his head the entire time for 5 hours.
Oh.
He held that thing up.
Timmy, you beautiful man. Thank you so much. So this will all be a part of the discussion next week when we talk about your live show. We need to figure out a way to get either this one or his or some variation of this to all the shows going forward around the radio show listening area.
It should be like a flat Stanley where we send it around the country. Like we'll send it this time. Our next live show is this Friday.
Yes.
This Friday in Kokomo. Never mind. Timmy's going to be there with the other one.
Well,
he's in the
if
middle
he
of
has
his
it.
he's in the middle of his side gig world tour where he goes to all of our shows. But the next one after that is a couple weeks from then in Portland, Maine. So maybe, how about we ship it? If somebody's willing, we will ship it to you.
Yes.
They then bring it to the live show, hold it up the whole time.
Yep.
Morning show, night show, hold it up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I believe we will be in the Battle Creek, Kalamazoo area, so somebody's going to have to then send it. It'll just be... My idea is finally coming to fruition for the app where people transport things and pay Steve, or get paid in Steve tokens.
Now, here's what I want, though. Okay, so we're going to do this. So let us know.
So we'll ship it out the first time.
Yep.
But then everybody else is on the hook for organizing, shipping. We want this thing to go around the world. I want to be able to set up a little map and we can put thumbtacks all over it.
Yeah, and I want people, once you've carried it, you've had it at a live show, morning or night, you sign the back of it with your name and date and where you are.
Idea.
And then you can even use this box that we'll ship it out in. And you ship it to the next person. That is your responsibility. I don't want this to be some, Secret Santa thing. Now, we didn't have that issue, but you hear about, well, I didn't get a gift. No, this is your responsibility to make my face present at every live show going forward. We'll do this. So if you're going to be at the Portland, Maine show, and I know we have a foothold in Portland, Maine, Steve. We have a lot of listeners in Portland, Maine. And you're willing to do this for us, send us a message on Twitter at Steve and Kyle. All of our social media, at Steve and Kyle. You can DM us on Instagram, message us on Facebook, message us on Twitter. If you're going to be there, the first person to be a rock solid yes. Yeah, we'll ship that out to you.
This is not a, my buddy might want to do it. I'll see if he can. This is, I can do it. I'm willing to do it. I can't imagine that would cost more than $10 or $15 to ship. It's kind of an awkward size box.
Yeah, that's the only issue. So, we'll keep all the paint
packing
stick in there with a stick on the
not
end.
This one actually. This one we keep. This one goes in the Hall of Fame here when we build the studio. It'll be Timmy's. Timmy, sorry, buddy. You gotta send yours to Portland.
Well, we'll send it. I don't want to feel bad and make him do it. He's already gone through the effort of getting these fatheads of my face, paying his own money for it.
It's all negotiable.
What I'm saying is you might be coming back from Kokomo with
so he gives us one.
We keep it.
And then we keep it and make him give up his other one. You know something? If I know Timmy... like I think I know Timmy will be on board.
It's just not fair. Poor guy.
Well, you know something? Life ain't fair sometimes.
And it might have to get shipped back to him because he's going to be at the Battle Creek show in 3 weeks or whenever
That's
it
true.
is. So he's going to end up buying the fat
see,
heads.
I want it every time it goes around the world.
Different person?
I want it to go to a different person.
Okay. And if you'd prefer, you know what? I don't know if I'm okay with it. If you want to carve little holes in the eyes, you can hold it up over your face.
Yeah. I'm sure it won't be defaced at all.
Hey, you show respect. This is my face. So let's do that.
How about we ship that one? Maybe we send that one out on we send this one out on a world tour, and then maybe by the time it gets back, we'll have a studio to hang it up in.
Maybe, no chance.
Steve, I want it to be weathered. I want it to be in rough shape.
The rest of one of my ears is gone.
Yeah,
and somebody's eating food on me. So
it's got like pizza drippings on it,
just everywhere. We'll do that. Message us now if you're interested in doing that at the Portland, Maine show. Now, is that a morning and night show, Steve?
Morning and night show.
So if you're going to just the morning, we also need to find someone for the night, and you can exchange at the end of the morning
have
show.
A meetup. And meet up in downtown Portland to hand off the Kyle
everyone,
fathead.
Because I want free beer to walk out on the stage, and whoever, all of them, some point to just keep rolling their eyes when they see my face sticking up from the crowd at every one of their shows, so they can never forget the Steve and Kyle podcast made them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But now, Steve, we've delayed long enough. We're on a tight schedule.
Oh, geez,
it's time to update. A massive update here in the Throat Goblin Tournament.
Yeah, that's right. You'd think I'd have the music lined up. Surprisingly, I had everything else ready to go.
No problem, Steve. It's time to update. As we talked about, we're finally down to the Phlegm 4 here in the Steve, what was the Steve 16 and is now the Throaty 2 of 2019. It's time to update to get to the national championship.
Man, I wish I had that not muted.
I mean, listen, I don't like to toot my own horn because I'm marginal at just about everything I do. But I can filibuster with the best of them. And you really...
Give it to me one more time.
You let me down there not once, but twice, Steve. So it's time now, finally, to figure out who is going to battle this week on our poll for the Throat Goblin National Champion.
It's a good piano right there.
Learn that in 10 seconds.
Yes, the official song of the Throat Goblin Tournament.
The Throaty 2 this year.
If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best, you've got to show desire. If you want to be the best, you've got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best,
we never get to the hook.
To show desire.
Does it have one?
You gotta be a fighter because the world is competitive. Play, work, eat. Every day is repetitive. Never really sleep.
All right, thank you, Eminem sounding guy. So last week we narrowed it down from the What I Ate to the Phlegmy 4, and
Did we?
we sure did.
Yeah, I didn't save that update. Okay, but that makes sense. I was going to say there's no way we're that far behind. That's right, Steve. We had a number 1 seed remaining, then Pharynx Polytechnic.
Yes.
We had the Cinderella of the tournament, Acid Reflux Correspondence School, or ARCS, as we call it here in the discussion den. And if I remember right, the remaining schools were the University of Jowl.
Yes.
And the only newcomer to make the Phlegm 4, Fat Lip Tech.
Fat Lip Tech. So which one do you want to start with? Do you want to know...
let's do
left ventricle first. Like you said, we had Pharynx Polytechnic, University of Jowl, the 1 seed Pharynx Polytechnic taking on the 2 seed UJ.
It's chalk, as we call it in the discussion den, Steve. Chalk, number 1 seed, number 2 seed.
Of course, yeah. Don't know what that means, but well, not a surprise. Pharynx Polytechnic, their romp continues. They took
they're a force.
Took down the number 2 seed, University of Jowl. 65-35 was the voting.
Oh, wow. 2-1, Pharynx Polytechnic. If I remember right, Steve, Pharynx Polytechnic has not had a close game yet.
No, definitely not. Making our way over to the right ventricle, we had the number 3 seed, Fat Lip Tech.
Again, the only newcomer to make the Phlegmy 4 this year, showing a lot of mostly returning teams, a lot of leadership.
Taking on the number 7 seed, ARCS, Acid Reflux Correspondence School. Now, surely you have to be saying to yourself, the reign has ended for ARCS.
Well,
the Cinderella story.
Yeah.
The slipper cannot fit once again.
I called it last week, Steve, and that I called by saying the ride's over. Midnight has struck. The carriage has turned into a pumpkin. The number 7 seed, there's no way they could do it again because they were up against a really impressive Fat Lip Tech as a 3 seed. A really nice throat sound for number 3 Fat Lip Tech.
Well, sir, you just ate your words because the number 7 seed has knocked off the number 3 seed in decisive fashion.
You get the hell out of here.
60-40 ARCS over Fat Lip Tech.
I can't... listen, all of you mouth-breathing idiots, all right, who are voting to keep this thing in just to ruin the integrity of the Throaty 2 this year. We can all agree. I don't know what's going to happen if they end up winning it all. Because, listen, they're a 7 seed for a reason. And when we play this matchup here in a second, Steve...
It's not even going to be close.
It's not close. Pharynx Polytechnic should run away with this thing.
Yeah, I agree. So, with that said, the 2019 Throat Goblin Tournament, the Throaty 2, is now down to just 2 teams. We have the number 1 seed, Pharynx Polytechnic, taking on the number 7 seed Acid Reflux Correspondence School.
I don't know how they've made it this far.
Not even close.
It's not
even close.
And listen, everybody who made this, they were already subject to heavy debate in the discussion den. Just to make the Throaty 2, we had to cut, I think it was like 15 or 16 throat noises, Steve, just to make this thing down to 32. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they made the field is impressive. They made it as a low seed, which I think you can hear there is probably what they deserved.
Yeah.
This run has been something to behold. Pharynx Polytechnic should win 80-20. They are so much more solid and girthy than Arcs.
Yeah, let's listen to that matchup once again. Number 1 seed, Pharynx Polytechnic, or PP, versus the 7 seed Arcs. Not even close. The only thing Arcs has going for it is the longevity of the clip.
Yeah, it really is. It's got length, which, as everybody knows in the tournament, can take you quite a ways, but it never takes you to the championship, Steve.
Yep.
The chalk's going to keep going. Pharynx Polytechnic's going to win the championship here next week.
Ooh, huge prediction?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that is.
You heard it here first.
Of course, I don't think I've gotten one correct yet.
Timing-wise, are we good to... You want to do fast
Yeah, let's
five,
hit it quick. Let's hit it really quick.
It? Yeah, of course. Are we going to do it, like, really quick?
Ah, sure.
All right, here we go.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead.
Easter.
Ah! Bunny. Bunny eggs.
That's another thing I forgot to ask you about. We'll hit it on the turnaround.
Okay.
The NFL draft.
Hey, number 1
Oh,
pick.
my God. Are they going Kyler Murray? Are they going to end, or is it just a smokescreen? Are they going defensive end pass
Yeah, what
rusher?
about Zion Williamson?
They just drafted a quarterback in the first round last year. The Arizona Cardinals. That is Josh Rosen. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
You can't. No, you don't draft quarterbacks first round back to back. The Cardinals are putting up a smokescreen because they need someone to offer to trade up.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Coachella.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Don't care at all.
Avengers.
Seems miserable.
Every music festival ever.
I used to like them, and now there's nothing that I could think of that I'd want to go to less.
Let's go camp and stink in mud and rain, or in a desert and watch, John and the Thimbleberries open up at 11 a.m. On the Hype Energy drink stand.
And not to sound like an idiot, that what are they called? Hipster? Like, not to sound like a hipster, but like it seems like it's become very commercialized now because everybody knows. Oh, everyone goes to Coachella. Everyone's going to hear about it. So, like, this is where we're going to unveil our new whatever. Or it's. I feel like it's probably lost a bit of the luster of where it was when it originally started.
And it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to these things.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame, Steve.
Oh, boy.
Comes out Thursday. Who's the key cog? Is it going to be Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Spider-Man? Is it Iron Man and Captain America?
See his new cape? Right? Green cape. Crazy.
Everybody knows that means business. Lastly, Adele.
Oh, no. What happened?
Divorced. Separated from her husband.
That's sad.
It is very sad, but should also lead to about...
It'll be a great album.
2 to 3 albums of material.
I know. She's really good.
Listen,
she's
I'm
phenomenal.
32. You're 37, Steve. Adele's good.
Adele's fantastic.
I'm comfortable in saying that. Kesha is good.
Nope. If Adele was here in town, I would go see her.
Oh, no question. I mean, we wouldn't be able to afford the tickets.
Sure, but I would love to go see her.
She's tremendous, and this is going to be some good material.
So she couldn't have been married
one.
that long then.
I think it was. Well, she's had a child with him, and I believe it was like 4 to 5 years because her first album was essentially about the breakup with an other
first album was
ex-boyfriend.
21. Which she wrote when she was 21.
Yep.
Her second album was 25, which she wrote when she was 25. Probably came out 3 years ago. I want to say 2016.
It has been
2017, maybe.
Yeah, what a weird course, right?
Actually, no, I think it was
3
before
to 4
that. I would
years.
bet maybe 2015. It may be time. Yeah, maybe time for 29.
Well, maybe she has to scrap the whole album that was just
and
happy
skip
and
right to
joyous
33
and go right to 33 and make it sad again.
Jeez,
bummer for her.
I like sad Adele though.
The music's tremendous
Yeah.
when it's that way, but boy, you have to go through a separation and Hey, give me music, though. Before that, Avengers Endgame comes out this week, poised to shatter probably every box office record. 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Ugh. Oh, gross.
I can't wait. I will be there Thursday
Do you
night,
think, though,
6 p.m., Steve.
But do you think that you'll get bored during that? 3
No.
hours?
No.
You're okay
Well-
with a 3-hour movie?
Yeah, there's going to be spots where it's going to drag, and
Is there, like, do they have an intermission? Are they, like,
yeah, what's the cutoff? I've seen a 4-hour movie. I saw a 4-hour movie in high school one time. It was Gods and Generals about the Civil War, and they did an intermission in the middle. Now,
I think
plays
if
are
you're over
3 hours,
I
right?
think if you're over 3, yeah, and most plays have
Having
intermissions.
intermissions. So maybe they will. Maybe they will. I kind of hope not. It's a work night for both my wife and I, and
Okay.
get home a few minutes earlier would be nice rather than twiddle my thumbs while everybody talks about the first half of the Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to shatter It's so hard, though, because there's going to be a letdown, in a sense, from Infinity War, which was so bananas, right? With battles happening everywhere and then half the population dying.
New capes everywhere.
New capes, green and other colors. But this one, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of them figuring out how to fight him again, which is going to be a touch slow.
Okay.
So I think 3 hours is probably okay because there's a billion characters that have to be discussed and involved in storylines. But yeah, I think anytime anything's 3 hours, it's going to drag.
They got to at least, there's got to be at least 5-minute intermission.
I bet you there will be. Now that you mention it, yeah.
Grab, fill up the popcorn again and get back in there.
That works perfect because it allows me to check, Steve, the NFL draft, which is the same night, round 1.
Zion Williamson
this Thursday,
going
Nashville,
number 1,
Tennessee.
Number 1
That
to the New
beautiful
York Islanders.
Sounder that ESPN has. Ding, ding, ding. Ooh, it gives me chills, Steve. Who goes number 1? Is it Nick Bosa from Ohio State?
do it,
Missed
I
half
swear.
the season.
The unheard of 2 Fast 5 intros during the Fast 5.
Coachella.
Coachella.
Yeah,
I
listen,
saw
we talked about
that so-and-so perform with so-and-so.
Awful, right?
Whoa. What were they doing?
I see headlines. So Idris Elba DJ'd.
Yeah, I didn't know he
Weird.
was a DJ.
He's not.
But
But it's a celebrity at this thing because they all think it. Listen, it's just a place for celebrities to mingle now.
Right.
But they're not mingling like people who are going to the Coachella Music Festival, who are, again, sleeping in pop-up tents and bringing,
Right.
one pair of underwear for 4 days and 14 pounds of marijuana, which I envision is what most of that music
hey, man,
festival's right.
if that's your thing, cool. Do it.
Yeah.
I am in no way interested.
Headlines were Kanye West had a Easter Sunday sermon for
boy.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, but that was great.
He didn't even speak on mic until 50 minutes in, I heard.
So what did he do the other...
They had a bunch of choir and church folk on stage with him.
Boy, that sounds awful.
Somebody threw a lemon at Ariana Grande.
Why? Is there significance to
Who
that?
cares, Steve? Who cares about any of these people? It's Ariana Grande who looks like she's 12. And lastly, I wanted to catch up with you about Easter. Did you have lamb chops?
We did. We had lamb chops again. We had lamb chops. We had ham.
Alfredo's famous lamb chops made an appearance.
Dude, they're good. They were excellent. You would not have liked them.
No, there's a lot of color issues for me on
They
those.
were a bit with lamb chops you don't do them well done. No.
But you can, right?
Well, yeah, I mean you could do anything well done if you really wanted to.
No, I'm in.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, you'd think I would have had the Fast 5 open. Oh, no, I did actually. Okay, number 1, Tiger Woods.
Oh, I love him. He's back, baby. Golf is back.
Number 2, boy, don't know why I put this on there. The fire at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible.
Tragic, right? But kind of scary to see the groundswell of support for that, which you'd think they probably have enough money to rebuild. Literally, and I think it was an athlete, Kyle Kuzma, actually, from the LA Lakers, said, appreciate with a tenth of the funding that this has received in 24 hours, Flint could have fresh water for a year.
Okay.
But hey, big ol' listen, Mike, did the hunchback get out or not? That's all I want to know, Steve. Did he waddle away from the fire? Ring the bell?
Still ringing the bells. What's his name? Quasimodo?
Quasimodo the hunchback.
Quasimodo loves bells. Bells love Quasimodo. Third, Easter.
Overrated.
Do you go with ham?
Oh yeah, and I don't even like ham. I'd rather have a regular meal. I'm not a ham guy, not a spiral ham fan.
I'm a ham in moderation guy. I like ham like once a year for Easter dinner. Maybe do like a turkey ham and cheese sandwich every now and then.
I prefer a thin cut spiral ham. I don't love the rind on the ham.
All right, I can get on board with that.
But I feel like I'm.
What about the honey baked with the? It's like the layer of like sugary glaze.
Yeah, I mean, you add that to anything, it's going to be delicious, though, right?
Yeah, it's the sweet and the savory. We'll get to this.
Obviously.
Fourth, Kate Smith. I feel like
is it weird to do this 80 years late? Maybe I'm wrong.
Because I didn't know about this until today. In case you're not familiar, Kate Smith. A legendary singer from like the 30s.
Yeah.
Her version of the Star Spangled Banner,
or God Bless America.
Or God Bless America.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, has been played at the Philadelphia Flyers games since the late 60s, early 70s. During not every game, but during key matchups. The Flyers back in the 70s, Kate Smith was their good luck charm because there was a point where every time she would sing God Bless America before a game, they would win, so they adopted her as their good luck charm. So much so that they had a statue erected of her outside of the old arena, which was the Spectrum. It was then, once that was demolished, the arena was knocked down. It was then moved to their new complex, which is called Xfinity Live in Philadelphia, and it's where all the arenas and ballparks are. She is also her recording of God Bless America was also played like since 9/11 at Yankees games during the 7th inning stretch.
Yep.
And then apparently in the last week or so, it was revealed that back in like the 40s, 50s, maybe 20s, I don't know. It was a long time ago. She recorded a few songs that in today's day and age are not socially acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Referring like something like cotton picking something. Just stuff that very, very racially insensitive.
Yeah.
So she has now been like erased from history. Like the Flyers took down that statue.
Yep.
The Yankees are no longer playing the song during the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, not her version anymore.
Not her version. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Can you erase that from 70, 80 years ago?
Yeah.
Is it worth your time? I guess. I think there's athletes who would probably. And it's not hard to find another good version of that song. There's a billion of them out there.
No, and
it's not about
it's not about the song. Not about the song at all. It's about how far back are we going to go? And we've seen this with the statues of Civil War generals being torn down and stuff like that. It's where's the cutoff? Is there a cutoff?
Yeah,
every scenario is different. Was the songs that she recorded, I've seen a lot of people say like, well, it wasn't like the context matters. It wasn't just that she said those words, but there was it was almost poking fun at the absurdity of the racism. And if that's the case, then that's kind of BS. Obviously, it shouldn't, her statue shouldn't be taken down. But I don't know, man.
It's a weird. Nothing's sacred anymore. So.
Yeah. Now, granted, I haven't heard the songs. I don't know what her intention was when she recorded them. I don't know the tone of it, so I don't know. But I think we definitely have to stop jumping to the conclusion of
everybody's racist.
They said that word or they said that phrase. They're racist. Delete them from history.
Yep, it's bad luck, Steve. Bad luck.
Oh boy, we went real deep on that. We weren't even on the turnaround yet.
Dang it. Stop breaking the rules.
Okay, number 5, Mueller report.
Something's happening, right?
What do you mean? Totally innocent, complete victory, or whatever his tweet was, right?
Man,
complete and total victory.
What a build-up, and now I feel like I haven't heard anything about it in about 5 days. Now, granted, that's me probably shutting it out a little bit because it's still the exact same state that we were in a week ago, which is that there's no numbers to impeach him. Mueller can't prosecute him. He can't prosecute a sitting president. The fact of the matter is nothing's going to change until the election if he gets voted out in 2020. That's it. That's it.
Do you think he will? Is he going to be voted out? Or is his support going to be bigger
I
than
mean,
ever?
I would have bet every dollar I've ever made and my limbs in 2016 that he wasn't going to be within 50 electoral votes of winning the presidency. And here we are with him winning, not handily, but the Electoral College. He won rather comfortably. So I refuse to say if I think he'll win in 2020. There's a billion Democratic candidates who have come out now, and there's no semblance of who might come out of that
this week, right?
And there's no semblance of who might come out of that crowd and actually make a disruption. They're all going to announce different overwhelming plans. Elizabeth Warren came out today, said free college for everybody, and if you we'll wipe away up to $50,000 in student loan debt if you make less than $100,000 a year.
There you go.
I don't know where that money comes from. It's the free money train, I guess. It's just going to be It's going to be a long year and a half leading up to the election next November.
Before that, we had Kate Smith. Already discussed that at length.
Yeah.
Before that, Easter.
Ugh.
Yeah, we talked. Peter Cottontail.
Oh yeah,
hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Nailed it.
Now, did you did the Easter bunny visit Little Reed?
Yes. Reed got an Easter basket with things that he cannot enjoy, chocolate included.
Nice. That means
Mom and Dad are going to enjoy those.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, he is...
so it's basically...
a weird
it's
state,
one of the
right?
best things about having a kid. Just you can finally buy stuff for them, in air quotes.
Yeah.
But it's really for you.
Oh, yeah. It's Halloween.
Candy bars. And
I can't wait to take them trick-or-treating.
What kind of candy?
This year?
Chocolate bars. Got any Butterfingers in there?
Let me take a look. I'll get back to you.
Where would Butterfinger rank? What tier is that?
Ooh.
That's a solid...
That's a tier 3 for me.
Really? Tier 3?
Well, how many were included in a tier? Can we do 3 in a tier?
Oh, I think we can have as many as we want in a tier.
No, that's fair, too. I would go Butterfinger. I think it's low tier 2.
Crispity, crunchity, and peanut buttery?
But listen, you've already got that in a better form in Reese's. And you're not dealing with the flaking issue with the Reese's.
I know it's a pain, but I like the flaking of the Butterfinger.
Man,
kind of shaves off in wafers.
I feel like I'm losing some quantity there. So if I had to pick
I mean,
a peanut butter chocolate based treat to be tier 1, it's going to be a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay, but how about they kind of remedied that with the bite size. But granted, anything bite size, I think it automatically drops a tier.
Absolutely. Again, and then we have to start talking bag box candy. Is that a separate ranking, Steve?
Geez.
Stay tuned next week for Candy Chat.
What have we done?
Candy Chat. I think it's the only proper way to do this.
I don't
it's
like
a new sidecast.
I'm not married to the name, though.
Huh.
Sweet treat to eat.
Hey. Yeah. And every week we try a new sweet treat.
Sweet treat to eat with Kyle and Steve.
Oh, no. It's another sports Tate.
We've done it again.
We've got Sports Tate, Mortar, and Sweet Treat to Eat with Kyle and Steet. Oh, no. So every week we eat a new sweet treat, and we have a whiteboard that we update with, just general rankings.
Uh-huh. Kind of like when we did the ice cream taste test, and there were no real parameters for what the scores we gave them was. So I think I gave one like a hockey puck and a necktie, and you gave it 6.
Yeah. Hey, it's all arbitrary. Yeah, stay tuned for that. New one.
Sweet treat to eat with Kyle and Steve.
My God, how does this happen?
Before that, we had the fire at Notre Dame in Paris.
Yeah, awful. Really is awful. I mean, whatever. It's not like you can walk 10 feet without seeing a massively historical place over there anyway. So,
did you see, though, what may be like the saving grace of that? How the video game Assassin's Creed.
Yes, they're going to be able to reconstruct it.
Apparently, that video game is really known for like super realistic recreations in the games, and they had done some digital scans of Notre Dame a couple of years ago that they said were they were within like 5 millimeters of accuracy.
That's crazy.
And they will supposedly be able to use them if they want. Like if they want to recreate it exactly, then they could.
Which they will. But at that point, I mean, you go and see it, you know you're looking at a fraud, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, does it even hold value anymore to go see?
I think so.
Hey, that
I was
900-year-old wood or whatever.
I was shocked, though, watching that, because I was, like, riveted to that last week when I was watching it. And when you see those those massive flames, I thought, there's not going to be anything left of the place.
Yeah.
And then they showed the inside of it, and I'm like, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, press stinks.
I mean, it's probably got 2 feet of water in it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it turned out all right.
Yeah, sounds like they leaning towards it will be declared just an accident.
Yeah.
You got to feel
that's good.
If you know, though, you're the one that you did whatever, whether it's left a stove on or a candle on the whatever.
Smoked a cigarette or something.
If you know you're the one that did that.
Oh, boy.
Do you ever come out of your shell? You can't ever admit that,
No,
right?
You just do like, yeah, I know. I'm just as surprised. I saw the flames and
he's got soot on his face. Yeah, no, I mean, it could have been, geez, pizza. Who knows what happened up there, right?
Could have been anything. And first on the list, Tiger Woods.
Oh, he's back. He's back. I think he wins 2 majors this year. He's back in the hunt for Jack Nicklaus's 18, Steve. He's 3 away. Mm-hmm. What a moment to be able to watch him at the Masters. Love seeing him back. What a weird story why he's popular still after the public meltdown he had.
That was pretty bad. I think if that had happened 10 years later, because that happened in what, 2009? Mm-hmm. If that had happened now, I don't think he bounces back from that.
Probably not. No.
And what I mean, like, I don't mean at his age now, but like if 2009 happened now and he was that age then, and I think he's done.
Absolutely.
But everybody's good with it.
And not just good with it, like roaring cheers for him everywhere.
Yeah, Tiger he's a role model again.
Well,
look up to him.
Him and I, just a couple of guys before our time.
Oh, so you're comparing yourself to Tiger Woods, but only the good parts of him, not the
best.
I think you have to take Tiger as a whole.
Yeah, listen. I mean, Tiger's golf achievements alone and my hot takes, his comeback golf-wise, and he's just a man before his time.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Me and Tiger.
No, that is the wrong one to play.
Me and Tiger.
You heard it here first. Kyle, proud to be Tiger Woods. You're
only way to put it, Steve.
Yeah, I mean a listing of your role models. Tiger Woods 1.
Tiger Woods golfer.
And Lee Harvey Oswald 1A.
Ooh, I'd put him tier 1. No, just a guy with a bad day, man. I mean, it's hard to put him as a role model.
Okay. All right. Well, that's words coming out of your mouth, not mine. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode.
I got a bad rap. That's all there is to it.
You can download, subscribe, review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Leave us a review. Call or text your questions, comments, or concerns. 424-30-ESCAPE-POD. That's 424-307-5763. Please go to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Steve and Kyle. Vote on the latest. What is the 2 called? What do we have it narrowed down to? Because we have the Throaty 2, the Steve 16, the What I Ate, the Flemmy 4.
Wouldn't it just be the championship? Because they go from the Final Four in basketball.
Yeah, they don't have
they don't have a clever name for that either, right?
Okay, just the championship game then.
We should though.
Yeah, we definitely
Zach,
should.
you let us down.
Let's see. 2. Okay, yeah, we'll get back to you on that.
Gotta be something. Damn it, Zach.
Also, look for the newest podcast to be released. That is Sweet Treat to Eat with Kyle and Steet. At least he got top billing on this one.
Yeah. Man, the first time. Doesn't mean I get to lead it?
Sure. Yeah, it's all you.
Yes.
All right. Talk to you next week.